The holidays, they're among us. And no, I'm not talking about Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Festivus. I'm talking about the NFL playoffs. Woo! That's right, baby. We got a lot of news regarding the NFL because it's, the most wonderful time of the year. That's right, baby. It's playoff time. Let's go.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and everyone telling you be of good cheer. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Most wonderful time of the year. It's the happiest season of all, with those holiday greetings and gay happy meetings when friends come to call. It's the happiest season of all. There'll be parties for hosting, marshmallows for toasting, and caroling out in the snow. There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glories of Christmases long ago. Most wonderful time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the most wonderful time of the year. The most wonderful time of the year.
The coveted home field advantage for the AFC is still up for grabs, as the Kansas City Chiefs have failed once again to clinch the AFC West after losing back-to-back games. With a win against Oakland next week, Kansas City will clinch the AFC West, the first round bye and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Without the win, they'll lose the top spot to the Patriots. And if the Chargers win, Los Angeles will end up clinching the AFC West, and Kansas City will drop to the 5th seed. Now, despite all this madness, the Chiefs, Patriots, Texans, and Chargers have all clinched playoff berths. The Patriots won the division on Sunday thanks to some help from the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles and their backup quarterback and Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles. Houston almost had an amazing comeback victory, which would have given them the AFC South, but the Eagles rallied back from behind to end up beating the Texans. Now, with a win next week against the Jets, the Patriots can clinch a first-round bye. Now, going back to Houston, if division rival Jacksonville Jaguars, who are now being led by on-again, off-again, on-again, off-again, on-again, off-again starter Blake Bortles, are able to play spoiler as they travel to Houston to wrap up their season, the winner of the Colts and Titans matchup would take the AFC South, dropping the Texans to the wild card round. Now, the Colts and Titans matchup is pretty much the only surefire deciding matchup we have in the AFC right now, as the Colts come to visit the Titans on Sunday Night Football. Seemingly much simpler than all the other deciding factors going around the AFC. The winner advances to the playoffs. It's pretty simple. You win, you're in. That's pretty simple until you realize that Marcus Mariota suffered an injury on Sunday. Luckily, playing the Redskins defense, backup quarterback Blaine Gabbert was able to go 7 for 11 with 101 yards and 1 passing touchdown to lead them to the comeback win. Unfortunately for the Titans, that may not be enough for a reignited Colts team who travel into Tennessee. When speaking about his injury today, Marcus Mariota stated he's going to do everything in his power to play. And for the Titans organization as a whole, we should hope that he does, as this could be the most important game of his regular season career. Now, the Ravens are still trying to prove that defense wins championships as they shut down the Chargers on Sunday. And with the Steelers' loss as well, the Ravens are pretty much in the driver's seat. They could clinch the division as long as they beat division rival and the suddenly scary looking Cleveland Browns, led by that fire-starting rookie, Baker Mayfield. Now, being the only team that's still left alive in the hunt, the Steelers have two scenarios which could see them clinching the AFC North. A win against the Bengals and a Ravens loss will see them taking the division. But if we get an unconventional tie between the Colts and the Titans, the Steelers end up sneaking into the playoffs. And with the way this season's been going, I wouldn't count anything out. Now, unlike its counterpart, the NFC is pretty much settled. The Saints, Rams, Bears, and Cowboys have all won their divisions, with the Seattle Seahawks clinching the 5th seed of the wildcard round. Now, the Vikings and Eagles are still fighting over that last wildcard spot, but the Vikings are pretty much in control. With a basic, you win, you got it. Now, the Vikings are going to be facing the Bears, who have announced that they're going to be playing all of their starters in hopes of getting a first-round bye. So, Minnesota has a very tough matchup against a scary defense, led by Khalil Mack. Now, the Vikings can clinch that last spot with either a win or an Eagles loss. Whereas Philly could be on the outside looking in if they fail to beat the Redskins or they don't root hard enough for the Chicago Bears. Monday Night Football hit a record low. Man. Now, of course, with it being a Christmas Eve game, you expect the ratings to dip a little bit. But it doesn't help when you have two teams who are playing for absolutely nothing, as the Raiders and Broncos have both been eliminated from playoff contention. And, well, the Raiders aren't looking too hot either. But they bested the former record low, which was a 5.7 that came back in 2016 in a matchup between the Saints and the Falcons. Now, that's a hot NFC South division rivalry. But when you look up at what they went up against, the presidential debates between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, well, it all makes sense. But we stooped to new lows. They got the record at a 5.4. So I guess trading away the best player on defense and signing Chucky to a ridiculous contract isn't the only records the Raiders are beating this season. Despite the rocky start to the season, Pete Carroll was given an $11 million a year Christmas present as he signed a massive extension through 2021. So Carroll is not only the winningest coach in Seahawk history, but now he also holds the title as the highest paid coach in Seahawk history as well. Speaking of Christmas presents, Redskins safety DJ Swearinger was cut by the team on Christmas Eve. Calling into a local radio show, Swearinger stated that he was called into Coach Gruden's office and was released by the organization after tearing into defensive coordinator Greg Minuski after the Tennessee Titans ponied up 16 points to close the door on any hopes of the Redskins making the playoffs this season. Swearinger stated in a now detrimental post-game interview that we're playing our best defense when we're looking at the quarterback. When you go one high up on a backup quarterback, that's easy, man. They're going to go backside every single time. That's a bad call. I feel like that was a horrible call. Drafted by the Texans in 2013, he was released by the team the next season after refusing to play special teams. Being claimed off of waivers from the Bucs the next day after his release from Houston, he was waived once again after only playing 7 games, being primarily used on special teams. Picked up by the Cardinals in 2015 to finish out that season, he ended up earning a spot on the main roster, which led to a resurgence in the 2016 season, which then in turn led them to secure a 3-year deal with the Washington Redskins. During his time with the Skins, he held it down, and in 2017, he was actually named the defensive captain of the team. When asked about waiving the former team captain, Coach Gruden said, "I've had multiple discussions with him for previous instances, and at the end of the day, we thought as an organization it would be best for us to part ways." Obviously, he wasn't happy. He voiced his displeasure many times, and at the end of the day, we thought it'd be best for him to let go and best for us to move forward. Now, despite being a Pro Bowl alternate this season and leading the team with 4 interceptions and 10 passes defended, his critical comments of defensive coordinator Greg Minuski was the final nail in the coffin, making Swearinger a free agent for the 5th time in only 6 seasons in the league. Another captain who's not going to be playing is Rams running back Todd Gurley. The Rams star back is going to be missing his 2nd straight game as he's been nursing knee inflammation. And with this matchup this week against the 49ers having no playoff implications and meaningless other than state pride, the Rams think it's best to sit Todd Gurley an extra game. Plus, with the bye week, he'll have 3 weeks of rest, keeping his knees fresh for the playoffs. In an interview with Jim Gray on Westwood One Sports Radio on Christmas Eve, Tom Brady was asked if he plans on playing next season. And he said, of course, "I absolutely believe I will. I know I've talked about it for a long time. I have goals not only next year, but beyond that. And I'm going to try to do it as best as possible as I can. I'm going to give everything I have like I always have. It will certainly be a challenge. I don't take any of these things for granted, but I hope I can keep playing. I hope I can keep playing at a championship level." Hey, best of luck to you, Tom. But the past couple weeks, the Patriots are looking a little sluggish. And unlike his rival, Eli Manning gave Ralph Vacchiano and other reporters a little less of a confident statement today regarding next season. He stated, "I'm just worrying about this game, finishing the season and going out there playing hard." As you know, Eli's struggles have been well documented throughout his 15-year career. And as a Giants fan, maybe it's time we start to move on. In an article on Bleacher Report from Christopher Knox, he lists the worst players of each NFL team for the 2018-2019 season. Now, despite this being 1 week premature, as we still have one more regular season game to go, I figured, hey, let's dive into this. And I've picked out some of the bigger names on this list and the stakes that cost the teams to get them. Leading the charge is Arizona Cardinals $20 million 3-game play-in quarterback Sam Bradford. We got Falcons former All-Pro and Pro Bowl player Vic Beasley. The Ravens 26th overall pick and rookie tight end Hayden Hurst. Bills former Mr. Reliable tight end Charles Clay. The Bengals offensive tackle Bobby Hart, who played for the Giants offensive line of last season, so that should tell you something. Cowboys wide receiver Tavon Austin. Packers linebacker Nick Perry. And once again, we're mentioning the on-again, off-again, on-again, off-again, on-again, off-again. Let's give him a 3-year, $54 million contract extension. Quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Blake Bortles. Rams cornerback Marcus Peters, who they just acquired for a 2nd-round pick this year. The Vikings have 2016 1st-round pick wide receiver Laquan Treadell. Oh boy, so bad he makes me mad, and he could have made this list twice, but I guess he's just not that nice. Offensive tackle Eric Flowers, who the Giants wasted the 9th overall pick in the 2015 NFL draft to get. He's gone. We'll let it go. We'll let it go. He's gone. Don't be angry. Woosah. Jets wide receiver Terrell Pryor. Eagles, who traded for this receiver, Golden Tate, just this season. They wasted a 3rd-round pick on someone who it seems like is not going to be around much longer after, if they don't win next week. Steelers troubled kicker Chris Boswell, who's missed 7 out of 20 field goal attempts and 5 extra points, costing them Steelers games. And of course, to round out the notable names list I have, the butt fumbler himself, Redskins quarterback Mark Sanchez. So, I think this is a fun list. If you're digging it, let me know. I'll post a link to it, so that way you can check it out. See which player made your team's worst player. And let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you have somebody else in mind for who they picked. Well, hey guys, This has been the playoff special of Unfocused. And if you enjoyed what we did, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. That would be most dope. I appreciate you guys so much. And as always, have an amazing night and even better tomorrow, and stay dope.